Canaan here from Basin Motorsports. Today I'm going to take you through the process of vinyl wrapping some engine covers for my Corvette. Okay, so here's some of the pieces that I'm going to be working on in this video. One is going to be the battery cover here. Now you can see this is already painted and it did not come as an unpainted option, so we're just going to vinyl wrap over that. I have a set, if you notice on both sides, a set of inner fender covers that will go over top that, and I'll mention those as I go. And I have a brake master cylinder cover, which is sitting on top right there just for display. Now I do have some other videos coming up where I'm going to do the reservoir covers here on the top pieces just as a separate, because those are not here yet. They're still in the process of being made and or shipped, and I don't have an update on those yet. So we're going to keep with these four pieces: two inner covers, battery cover, and a master cylinder cover. And what we're going to do is go ahead and wrap these in the same blue that I did the rear diffuser on the bumper. So this is going to be a KPMF blue opulent indigo. Same color, kind of matches the flames here. So we're going to try and coordinate all of this together as one fluid piece. All right, so when you order all of these pieces, you're going to have either the option to paint match them to a color for a common Corvette color. So if you have, let's say, a blue, electron blue, navy blue, etc., you can order that. So if you notice when I mentioned the battery cover, this did come in a blue. There is not a painted or an unpainted option to buy. So I just went and bought a navy blue, just in case. This is probably the closest color, if you would say, to the flames if I couldn't wrap it. But instead, this actually has a very nice surface here, so I can wrap over this navy blue and it will match all the other pieces. Now you notice on the other pieces, they do come unfinished. You can buy these as that. So these have been sanded already. Now these come in a pretty good finish already, but I wanted them a little bit smoother. So these have been sanded, wet sanded down to 1500 grit. So I started with 400, 800, 1000, 1200, and then 1500. So they don't take a lot of time. And on the back, I'll show you how I'm going to use some Pro Bond for an adhesive to help get the vinyl to stick to them. Now, one of these has been sanded. This one has been sanded in my hand here. This one has not. So you can kind of see the difference in color a little bit. The non-sanded, the way it would come unpainted, is kind of more of a black, where this is a kind of a grayish, I would say, based on the camera here. So I still need to sand one, but I want to show you the difference before I get started. Now with each of these, obviously I'm not going to touch the painted one. It'll just be cleaned and wrapped. But the other ones, out of sanding, can go ahead and start cutting my vinyl. Now I did get a 10-foot piece of vinyl from Metro Restyling, and you can order those depending on what color you want to do on vinyl. I got it long enough that I could do the diffuser plus all the other engine bay pieces that I have, and then I have some other ideas I'm going to go ahead and do to help incorporate that blue throughout the car. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go off camera real quick. I'm going to cut all the pieces needed to be able to do these 4 sections out of that roll. And then I'll come back and I'll kind of show you through the step of the details of how to do it after you've sanded, what you're going to do to clean, and then wrap each piece through the finished product. All right, so there's going to be some options you can choose, right? We're going to work on 4 pieces. I'll tell you the battery cover is going to be completely flat, pretty easy to do. The other covers have a slight curvature to them, but really it's not going to be that too much challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the brake master cylinder cover. Now, I had a suspicion on this that I couldn't do this in one piece. Now, it can be done probably by somebody with a lot better expert experience than me, but I'm going to go ahead and do this in 2 pieces. Now, if you notice, I had some black here just to try it out. This is an extra piece I had from something else. So most of it came out pretty good, right? Top looks pretty good. Got the cutout for the fill nozzle or the fill spot to go in. But the unfortunate part is, as you start to come around the edge, you can get a good clean turn around the top, but you have a bunch of material. You can keep working on this if you want to. You can go ahead and just keep heating it, stretching it, heat and stretch and heat and stretch, but you don't have to do it that way. I'm going to go ahead and do it in 2 pieces. One is going to be kind of a ring around this edge all the way up to close to the top, and then I'm going to do a top cover folding down over top. Try to give it about, somewhere around 1/8 of an inch or 3-ish millimeters of coverage for the top, overlapping the bottom, and then it's going to be pretty easy to cover at that point. So I'm going to go ahead and take this back off, re-clean it, and then I'll go ahead and get my blue KPMF material together to be able to do that. And I'll show you each piece by piece. Since the back edge here really isn't going to be seen, right? Because here's your fill. You know, this side here is the driver's side. It's the most seen. The passenger side is the next bit seen. I want to put the seam of the bottom edge down around the edge here on the side. That way it's the least possible, least seen edge, I guess you'd say. So that'll make sense once I go ahead and wrap it, and I'll show you. All right, so I got everything laid out. I think I've got it in the right place. So what I have done over on this left-hand side, this is where I cut the diffuser section out of, and the rest is just kind of laid out. So you can kind of see there, it's in the dark, but you can see the battery cover on the far right, your two other covers there, and then you have the other master cylinder cover. How you guys want to lay this out is really up to you. I'm always a big fan of trying to nest things as best as possible, and then you can decide how you want to go ahead and cut from there. I'm just going to go ahead and probably freehand most of this, other than beyond the edge of the second and the master cylinder, second cover and master cylinder. So you can kind of see there just how I have it laid out. You can go ahead and cut from there easily. Nothing major. Just make sure everything's clean. You know, putting on a floor is not the greatest recommendation, but that's what I have available. So I'll go ahead and do it this way, and then we'll make sure to clean everything very well once I get it back up off the floor. But here's an idea just to give you guys an inkling of what I'm doing here in the shop. All right, so I've got this go ahead and wrapped up. Now, what I started with was a single piece, probably about 2.5 inches or so in width from here down to here. And that was just kind of a piece that I had cut off from there. So what I had from that point on is I started, I'll show you, I started over here. So if this is your top or your center of that, I started a little bit off to the side, knowing I was going to cover it. And my end piece, where they're going to come together and stop, is going to be roughly in this section here. So that'll be almost dead center. So if I show you, there's dead center coming down. So I've left it a little short just so you can see there's an overlap between them. What I can do now is I can cut this top piece and then fold it over. And you can see, if I show you the edge to edge, it came around pretty well. It's a little bit of work all the way around. And that leaves your top section exposed, and this is the next piece you're going to do. So let me finish this. We'll then take the next piece of blue vinyl, basically the cast off of this, set it on top, cut it over it. Now, in order to cut this top piece, once it comes over the top, I'm going to go ahead and use 3M knifeless tape, which I'll show you. It's just a green tape. It's kind of got like a dental floss. It's a little string inside that you're able to cut with, so it'll cut through vinyl. So let me get this done. I'll put 3M tape on and show you how I'm going to do that. And then I'll go ahead and put this top piece on, and then we'll cut it. And this piece is done, except for tucking the edges. Okay, so here's going to be our piece now trimmed up. So if I show you the hole, you can see where the edge is. Nah, you really can't. It's there though. You can see it's right there is where the edge of the piece comes over. So pretty well hidden. Now we're going to do the 3M tape. So you can see now I have a ring all the way around. Gives me a little bit of an edge. If I show you, it's down below the edge of the blue where the top is up here, and I've got it crossed there. Now you're going to obviously pull the top half here because it crosses over itself. So once you wrap your blue down around the edge here, you will able to pull the string. If you notice inside of there, there's kind of like that whiteness at the center. That's an actual string that you pull through the green on the edge here, and it will actually cut the vinyl, basically alleviate vinyl here. So what I need to do is I need to wrap this top. I need to pull it down below this whiteness in there for the string is, because that's where it's going to be the edge. And I need to basically wrap it down below that and then use my knifeless cut or my knifeless string here, the tape, to go ahead and cut through that. And then I will have left to wrap in this here, fold it down in, and put some probe on the inside, and then do the bottom half, and this piece will be done, and I can go ahead and put the Velcro on and put it on there. All right, so here's going to be our wrapped piece. Now, you can notice that there's a lot of bunching in the material, and that's all going to be okay because it's all down in the cutoff piece. So if I show you the top edge here, you can just see where that tape is at. All of my wrinkles are below that edge, so when I pull the tape and the string goes ahead and cuts through that vinyl, it won't matter because all that's going to peel off there. So now I need to go through and get my edge, which is down in here. I can show you here. You can see that piece of tape down in there. I need to peel that up. I need to get the string pulled through the 2 pieces of green, so it'll basically split it in half, and then I'll start peeling it, and it will cut through this vinyl all the way around the edge, and then come out the other side. And then this, I could just slit it because it's going to be in one piece. I'll just slit it, then peel it off, and then this is wrapped except for my bottom pieces down here, and they cut out. And I'll go ahead and do those in Pro Bond, which is just an adhesive promoter. It's basically you put it on, dab it on with a paintbrush, let it set for 30 seconds, hold the vinyl to it, and then done. All right, so here's going to be the finished product on our wrap. Everything's tucked over. I tell you, I decided not to do the Pro Bond. Actually, the backside is sticking better than I thought, but it's going to be nice and good. Now I just need to go and put the Velcro on the back and put it in place. Let me show you the finished product. All right, so there's the first piece down in place. There's your master cylinder cover. And really, that's probably going to be the hardest piece to wrap just because of the curvature alone. But you can just see, if I can step back there, you can see that it's going to look pretty darn good when you get all the other pieces in there. Match it up with your DOT3 so it looks correct. Everything fits on. It's held on by Velcro. Now we need to get the next pieces going. All right, so the next piece we're going to do here is going to be the battery cover. You can see on the front, it is painted nice and glossy, so this is going to stick easily down. I'm going to go ahead and cover these holes up because I don't need them for the battery itself because it's an Optima battery in mine, so it does not degas. We'll just go ahead and cover this on the back, and then again, I'll check on the back to see if I need to use any Pro Bond or not. If it sticks down, I probably won't, but I'm going to guess that this may need it just because of the texture. And this is plastic versus fiberglass. So this is going to go very quick. I've already got the piece cut here. All I'll need to do is take off the backing, get it laid down, and then put everything down.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't want to be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
All right, now because the part is flat, it goes pretty darn quick. You can see the edges in there and the ripples. Everything is good. Let's just go ahead and get these edges wrapped, and then we'll be done with this one. Okay, here's going to be the finish of our battery cover. Now you can see everything fits down in there. You still got your little dimples in there, but that's okay. Everything fits well. Now we need to move on to the other pieces, the inner fenders. Okay, here's going to be our finished product for the passenger side inner fender. You can see it's all wrapped on the back. You can see where the Velcro is on there. I'll just show you the back side. Nothing fancy. Everything's wrapped in there. Nice and clean. And I didn't use Pro Bond on this. The KPMF sticks very well. So now I just need to take the backing off the Velcro. Here, take that off so that it'll stick to this. Get that in position and press it down, and voila, we'll be done. All right, there's your part installed. Simple as that. Lift up the harness down there on your headlamp. Lift that up. Make sure you go over this nub right here. And then just set it down in. Starting to come together, all the blue. Now I need to do the other piece on the other side. All right, so with the last piece now done, thankfully it was a duplicate, right? So I did that one over there. I have this one over here, so now that is a complete duplicate. So there are 4 of the 6 pieces, right? Your inner fender, your master cylinder, or your booster there, and then you've got your battery, and then the piece over there with the other inner fender. So a couple other things I'm going to try. I'm going to try and do this ductwork in the same thing, this red one, try and get rid of that. Either go blue or black, rather than just go ahead and replace it. Don't really need it to be red. It kind of doesn't really match anything. And then I've got the red hoses, obviously. So the pieces I'm still missing are the reservoir on the windshield washer and the one for the coolant. I'm still missing those pieces. They're MIA and still no delivery date or ship date on those. So I'm going to go ahead and call this video here, and then we'll come back. I'll just do these separately because really it's the same thing. Sand it, wrap it, install it. Should be good. So now with 4 of the 6 pieces done on the engine bay, and the other 2 will be probably here this month, we'll get those wrapped up, and then I'm going to start working on the other pieces I have for this winter. I don't want to give too much away yet, but I've got a lot of things I'm working on to make sure that they everything kind of matches. Trying to go more towards a black and blue theme. The red theme was the old owner's. He really liked the red stuff, so not sure what I'm going to do yet. If I'm going to replace all the red, get it to just black, I think that would be fine with it. Otherwise, if you guys have questions on any of this, on the wrapping, or what materials, etc., I will put links down in the description for all the parts. Everything is made. These 4 pieces came from RPI Designs, and they bought them through Southern Car Parts. Now, RPI sells some multiples, but I got it through there on a Black Friday deal, so yay for that. And then the other 2 pieces are ACI Vet. You know, those are fiberglass also. Different vendor, but they'll come through Southern Car Parts also. So if you guys have any questions on that, the KPMF material is the same I've been using on everything. It's the same opulent indigo blue. I'll put links down there, wrap tools, anything else I've used in this. I'll put links in the description, so that way you guys can have it. If you have any questions, you can always leave them down in the comments. If you have any concerns, questions, anything else. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time, and hopefully you've enjoyed the Corvette updates for this winter.